When I met you at the anti-Trump rally at outside the Federal Building, something that I noticed is that you were going back and forth and talking to the people on both sides, to the Trumpies and to the independent California folks, which is
Yeah,
something that I try to do also. And I think that's important, as we build consensus around independence to try to find a common denominator, to kind of move beyond what's the lowest common denominator where they're afraid of Mexicans and we like
yeah.
Mexicans. What's the touchstone with that? Um, because even though Republicans don't have any statewide offices in California, Trump still got 30% of the vote here. And as we move towards an independence initiative and a vote on independence, we're going to need a lot of those people on board with the program.
Yeah.
So, I guess what do you have in common with the Make America Great Again contingent?
I mean, what do I have with those people? Frame the question a little bit uh, because let's not boil people down to the mean. Which people would you mean? Give me like a prototype person.
Uh, so let's see if I can a person who I'm just thinking of an individual who is standing on that corner wearing a Make America Great Again hat with a Second Amendment shirt on, or say a Don't Tread on Me shirt on with a Second Amendment, who wants to be able to have a concealed carry permit and doesn't and wants a border wall to be built. How do you what do you say to that person?
What do I say to them? Well, I probably would just basically say that basically you could live the way you want to live, and I could live the way I want to live, as long as we're willing to respect the idea of domain, which is that things work for you where you are, and things work for me where I am. You see what I mean? Kind of. How should I put it? Like, well, for example, just at that rally, a lot of those people are not from California. They had to be bussed in because there is not a lot of people in California who are going to show up to a MGTOW rally at the drop of a hat and run down there and scream. So, so they had to kind of be bussed in and have their red wave in California or whatever it is. But what did we talk? What did I talk about with them? I talked how their YouTube channel was going. I talked about one guy. We had a long conversation about his sons, and that was strange. I talked very little politics. I mean, ultimately, I talked to one guy about politics, and we talked about immigration, and we basically came to an agreement that the immigration lottery that currently exists in the federal system, there needed to be more of that. There needed to be more winning tickets.
Mm-hmm.
So,
What
and
what would you
that's actually what we discussed, because ultimately everybody knew what was going to happen. At the end of the rally, everybody was going to go home, and at home, they have an arrangement that works well for them. And you see what I mean? So, in other words, it's just how should I put it? It's just some magical idea that the sense of like neighborliness ends at some point, or somehow or another, my life by symbolism is intruding into your life symbolically somewhere out in Missouri or Wisconsin or something. My life here in California is drastically affecting yours. I mean, that's kind of where this imaginary divide starts to exist. So, do we have anything? Does this movement, have anything for those 33 Trump voters? And yes, which is we have good fiscal policy, and we have good tax sense, and we have benefits for taxes spent. Things I think those people would enjoy. We also have opportunities for water infrastructure and basically better energy grids. Like, those people benefit from wind energy. Most of these people are in the east of the state, over closer around, kind of centered around Reno. So a lot are in the Central Valley, and a lot of them are in San Bernardino. So kind of think of the more outskirts. It's really quite simply the rural area, and then other places like Modoc.